Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 LSC Women's Basketball Online Media Day. I'm Lucas Kinsey for the Lone Star Conference. Thank you for joining us today. Lady Buffs were selected to finish first this year in the preseason poll, and today I'm joined by West Texas A&M Lady Buff head coach Josh Prock and also sophomore guard Karley Motschenbacher. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
And congratulations as well as being picked first. And so we'll get started, Coach, with you. Last season, in your first year as head coach for WT, you did something that, to be honest, surprised a lot of people around the country. You came in your first year, you've got new players coming from different programs. Most had not played together, and you make a run, right? You win the Lone Star Conference regular season championship, you win the Lone Star Conference tournament, and then you go on to win the regional tournament all the way to the Elite Eight. Talk about last year, how special it was, and how did you get everybody to buy in so quickly in your first year?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, Lucas, when you mentioned it, when you look at our team last year, I kind of had talked like four different kind of factions of team. You had kids that were returning, kids that were coming here already that were recruited by the previous staff, kids that we recruited in, and then kids that actually came over from Eastern with us. So, it was difficult at the beginning, I mean, because you had so many different things going on. But credit to these kids, because they're the ones that bought in. They're the ones that, said that we're going to get this changed and things like that. I mean, we as coaches, obviously give them the instruction, tell them what to do, how to do this. But they bought in. And I think it goes back to the whole mentality of if you love your kids, serve them, those kind of things, it's eventually going to happen. They're going to get bought in. And I mean, I think that this team was a testament to what we did.
Yeah. Well, last year, maybe under the radar, not this season. I mentioned it. You're picked first in the Lone Star Conference. Quickly talk about what that means to you.
Yeah, it's very important. I mean, you want to be recognized for your accomplishments and stuff, but at the end of the day, it is a preseason ranking that there's a lot of work to be done. This league is obviously extremely competitive from top to bottom. I mean, these teams are just they're talented. Got a lot of players. Got a lot of things that you have to scout and things that would keep you up at night as coaches and stuff like that. But I mean, it's an honor to be selected where we are. Now it's just time to go prove it on the court.
So with more of a target on your back this season, does anything change? Does your approach change with this team?
I think you got to keep your approach the same.
Okay.
I mean, you got to be consistent with how you coach your kids. And I think we've been very consistent this year, but also making sure that these young ladies understand the expectations that is upon them.
Yeah.
That you're right, we're picked first, and a lot of things come with that. So they've earned this, and now it's time to go earn it on the court.
Big reason for the Lady Buffs' success last season, the player sitting to your left, and that's Karley Motschenbacher, sophomore guard. Last year, Karley, 10 points a game, 8 rebounds. You were second on the team in steals and assists as well. Karley was named MVP of the Lone Star Conference tournament and also MVP of the regional tournament held right here at the First United Bank Center. So, Karley, you spent some time. You transferred from a school in Minnesota, obviously, came to WT last year. And I wanted to ask you something because last year you had such a special season, but halfway through the year, I actually was talking to her dad, and her dad had told me there was a point in her freshman year back in Minnesota where you were thinking about maybe hanging it up and not playing basketball anymore. We're certainly glad that you did not do that. Buff Nation is very glad that Karley didn't. But I wanted to ask you, what clicked last year? What changed for you?
I think just my coach's trust in me and confidence. Like from high school, I was used to the full confidence from my dad being my head coach. Like he just trusted me to run the team and do whatever I needed to win, basically, and to keep the team together. And my first year, I didn't really have that. I didn't have that chemistry with my coaches. It was a really negative atmosphere. I never really wanted to be there. So yeah, I had decided to quit completely. But then coming here and seeing that can be rebuilt, really made a huge difference for me.
It looked like you had a lot of fun last year too. Now, Karley's listed at 5'8". Is that correct? Is she really 5'8"? Sometimes we go a little bit up on the rosters, but
yeah.
Okay.
I think Britton got it right.
Okay, so she's 5 feet 8 inches tall, grabs nearly 10 rebounds a game. You look out there and constantly on the court, she's in the middle of loose balls, jump balls, anything physical that can get her team an extra possession. And so, Karley, talk about that no fear attitude that you have, because a lot of times you're doing this against players that are much bigger.
I mean, it's all about want and tenacity. I feel like you either have it or you don't. If I want to get the ball, I'm gonna do whatever I
Yeah.
need to get it.
And she's like this in practice as well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and
It's hard to explain what you need to do.
I mean, I tell our kids all the time, Lucas, that if you can box her out, Karley out, you're probably going to be able to box a lot of people out. Because I mean, she's one of the most she mentioned it, tenacious, one of the most tenacious offensive rebounders that I've ever coached or seen.
Yeah. So you do have a lot of size this year. There's 5 players on the roster that are 6 feet or taller. If you need to play center, if he asks you to go in and get down the low post, you're not going to flinch, right?
Nope. Not at all.
Okay. All right. Coach, back to you. In talking a little bit about Karley, how much fun is it for you to coach a player like that? Because one of the things I noticed last year is it's not just her physical toughness, it's her mental toughness. Pressure situations, she's just calm and collected. How fun is it for you to coach her?
It is a lot of fun. I mean, I think you described it really well there, because in those pressure moments, you look back and whether it was the championship game against Commerce, her making big plays in that game, and the game before that playing Lubbock Christian in the semifinals, and now turning around in the regional tournament. I still remember that baseline drive she had against Lubbock Christian where she went and I think she hung in the air forever and finished the ball and got an and one. And so I think it's a testament to her and who she is. But the biggest thing for me is she's even a better kid off the court. I mean, she's an amazing young lady, and I think that shows on the court of what kind of person she is.
Yeah. Karley, you talked about that Lubbock Christian game, and you played in a lot of big games last year in your first year at WT. The game here, the regional championship game, there were over 2,000 people at this in this building. What was your experience like last year playing here in this arena? And then also talk about being a Lady Buff player where you get so much support in this program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was huge to be able to play here because after losing to, I think it was St. Mary's, we were so down on ourselves, and then just to kind of turn it around and ending up being first in the rankings and then being able to play here and host, I think that meant a lot to us, and it meant a lot to the fans, like just being able to play in front of them and having their support. It's unlike any place that you're ever going to go.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to call those games as well.
Yeah.
So after winning 26 games last year, Coach, in year one, it seems like you've bulked up the roster. I mean, you look at this team coming into this season, 22-23. I came out and watched them practice on Monday. Is this one of the more talented teams going into a season that you've ever coached? And what can we expect from this year's team?
Yeah, it's very talented. But I think the best thing I love about these kids is their chemistry together. They really enjoy being around each other. They really enjoy getting after it. And I love how hard they go every day. I mean, they bring it. And, we always talk about wanting kids to communicate, talk, and, be enthusiastic at practice. And these kids are taking it to another level right now. And it's a credit to Karley and all her teammates that came back from last year. They understand how we want, what the expectation is. And so, I mean, it's been a lot of fun so far.
Karley, the expectations are high. The pressure will be on this year. So are you ready for that? And what can we expect from the players this year?
I think we'll be ready for it. I think it definitely is more of a target on our backs, though. We got to be sharp every game. We can't underestimate any team that we play because every team is going to bring their best to us every single game. So I think it's a matter of, if we're not shooting well that game, still figuring out a way to trust each other and come together for that win every time.
In year one, the last question for you, Coach. In year one last year, you built a really tough schedule, especially the non-conference. There were some people that are like, this guy's crazy. First year coming in, and we're scheduling some of the best teams in the country, but it paid off, right?
Yeah.
This year, still not shying away. So talk about the non-conference schedule before you even get into the grind of the LSC. And what can we expect from your team this year in terms of you make it to the Elite Eight last year? Now can we get back?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to build your schedule towards being able to have the opportunity to be ranked in the region, and we're always going to build it that way, and so having the opportunity to play two really good teams to start off the year right away, Fort Hays and Nebraska Kearney, who are picked second and third in their league and probably be top 15 teams in the country, and then turn around again playing a Colorado Mesa team that made the region tournament last year. I mean, so we're going to always build our schedule to give us the opportunity to be there. And I mean, as far as expectations, I mean, these kids, the great thing about it is they're setting the expectations for themselves as well too, of where to get to and how we want to get there. And it's going to be, you talk about it all the time. It's just a daily process. It's not. I mean, yes, you have your goals and expectations, but it's the process to getting there is the most fun, and that's what it's been such a joy with these kids so far.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here today, and congratulations again on being picked first in the preseason poll.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for joining me, and good luck this season, Buff Nation. We cannot wait to get this season started. The Lady Buffs have 2 exhibition games against some Division I opponents, and then they will head to Kansas City for the D2 CCA Tip-Off Classic the weekend of November 5th. So hoops action right around the corner. I'm Lucas Kinsey for the Lone Star Conference. Thanks so much for watching the 2022 LSC Women's Basketball Online Media Day.